Welcome back, Splunk enthusiasts. This video is brought to you by Lame Creations, log analysis made easy, where we help you master the tools and techniques to become a Splunk pro. In today's session, we're diving into the world of SPL, or Splunk Processing Language, to help you sharpen your skills and become a more powerful data investigator in Splunk. We'll be working with the BOTS version 3 dataset, Boss of the SOC, a realistic, hands-on dataset full of cybersecurity challenges that's perfect for exploring real-world scenarios and honing your search skills. This video's focus: the search command. The search command is the backbone of SPL, and mastering it will open up a world of possibilities for how you can sift through your data, identify patterns, and ultimately find the insights you're looking for. Through practical examples in the BOTS v3 dataset, we'll cover how to structure effective searches, filter out noise to find the key details, and identify signs of potential malicious activity. Whether you're new to SPL or looking to take your skills up a notch, this tutorial has something for everyone. So let's fire up our search command, dive into the data, and start uncovering some valuable insights. All right, the very first example we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we set our timer to all time, because the BOTS v3 dataset is multiple years in the past. So what we want to do is be able to search, let's say for specific error messages in our logs. Index equals BOTS v3. We can just type in words we want to look for. Put those in parentheses, and we go ahead and run that. And we should be able to get back data on these sets. Now just remember, these are not the most efficient searches. We should be calling out source and source type, but I want to show the concept. This is the search command. In the search command, we can use it for filtering. We can put keywords in, we can use or, we can use and back come the logs. We can actually see when we search these, all the fields that match those keywords up here are going to be highlighted down there. Next one, let's do some more filtering. What if I want to look for something with an IP address? I want to see if by chance I saw this IP. I can run that. Here, I'm going to say, does the field source IP have this value? If I take this out, I'm just going to look to see if that IP address shows up. Here, I'm looking for, is there a field in my logs, source IP, that has the value that? And we can see, there we go. And again, our things are highlighted, showing us where those fields came back. We can see it's in the source type of stream UDP. We get a bunch of other information there. So we can use the search command to filter by just keywords. We can use it to filter on field names. Next one, we can actually use it to look during a specific time frame. We can write the time frame over here, or we can actually put it into our query. We're going to be looking for failed logins, which are Windows event codes 4625. And we're going to put earliest equals minus 15 years. And we're going to go latest equals negative 5 years. So we're going to take a time frame between 15 years ago and 5 years ago. We just put that right there in the query. Sometimes that's faster than trying to set this all up. And there are our failed events. This one here is going to be using the keyword event type. And what we're going to do is we're going to search by event types. Typically, event types are part of a data administrator tool. you're going to, maybe you download a TA for parsing data, and it will tag certain data as a data type, and that will give it an event type. If you're going to put things into data models, they're going to come with an event type. So for here, we're going to go look at CPU data model. Under the performance data model, we have CPU as a tag. And so we're going to look for anything with CPU in there. And we're also just going to go grab, we can also do filtering and say, I want the filled CPU, and this would be the overall CPU. Because if you're familiar with the way the CPU works, it will come back with each processor. In this one, instead of naming the processor, I want the overarching CPU. And so there we go, and there comes back our fields using an event type and a field. We can use wildcards for flexible filtering. We might want to say, I want to know, was the user admin in any of these logs? And I want to be able to cover for administrator, other longer things, but I want to know if the admin was in any of these fields. And so I can put a wildcard, which is a star, in front and behind the field. And we can see that we have invalid users. This is in our varlog Linux secure logs. We'll also see them in our Windows event logs. Again, every time it's used, it's highlighted, so it caught administrator. We can do greater than, less than, and we're going to use this one. We want to know anything with a high byte count. So we're just going to say bytes is greater than 1 million. And so this might be an indication of exfiltration or downloading of large packets. We can just do that, and there we go. We can see there's the bytes filled, and it is definitely larger than 1 million. That's definitely a large set. We can see all that data coming in. There's a very large file. But again, big bytes. We can go less than or equal to. We can go less than, greater than, etc. We can do searching for specific Windows event IDs, and we can use the in command. This is really a useful way of writing out a lot of statements, like I want all of the 4624 codes, the 4625 codes, and the 4634 codes. And so you can write event code in, and we'll pull those back. We could also go, this is not efficient in this case, not in. And they'll bring back anything where the event code is not that. So anyway, this is a real quick way of, instead of writing event code equals this, or event code equals that, or event code equals this, we can just use the event code in. We could do URL paths. That's going to kind of give you an indication where people are going when they browse to websites. So we can do that. We can do, I want all the source type equals stream HTTP. And I'm going to go the URI path is equal to admin star. And so this is going to be looking for anybody who's browsing the admin paths. It could just be admin, it could be administrator, anything else, and then other fields, as long other slash paths. But as long as admin is in there. And there we go, admin images flags. Admin images flag GB GIF. So we can go see if people are perusing into admin, attempting to go into admin shares. Another filtering here. Let's go look for maybe is there use of the Amazon AWS. Let's filter it a little bit more and say I want it to be protocol equals TCP. So do I have any Amazon AWS going on in my environment? And there we go. We can see, yes, we do. Let's run that in verbose mode so that we get back where we can see the Amazon being used. There's Amazon there in the protocol stack. Amazon in the protocol stack. So we can see from the logs, they are going to Amazon AWS and using the protocol TCP. What if we want to look and see if someone's using the Googlebot? From a security perspective, Googlebot, maybe we don't want them searching our data, or I don't have any of this data, but we could use the user agent equals curl, and so we could see if people are using curl commands. I don't have it, so I'm not going to use that. We won't be able to see the data. It doesn't exist in this data set, so unfortunately, that's not an option. But we can do Googlebot, and so we'll put Google's bot with stars on both sides. Go ahead and run that. And we can now see, here it is, right in the user agent, Googlebot. Googlebot. Thanks for tuning in to Lame Creations, log analysis made easy. If you found today's video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss out on the latest tips, tools, and tutorials to boost your log analysis skills. Want to take it a step further? Become a member to support the channel and gain exclusive early access to videos and exclusive focused training. Join us on Discord where we dive even deeper, share insights, and tackle questions together. Until next time, from Lame Creations, where we help you go from being a lame analyst to a Splunk ninja.